Otaku ends. Welcome back to another beautiful episode.
Welcome
Today, it's been a little bit, but we are back
2-3 weeks
with a little bit, a little time, little break here and there. Today we're doing a special episode, just like we do every single season.
Yes, sir.
We're doing upcoming anime for the next season. We got a lot. There's a lot of new shit coming out.
Surprisingly, not a lot of returners. A few returners, definitely, but not as much as I was expecting.
I mean, there's a returner. The only one I'm concerned about coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, I
One
can't
Piece.
wait. I'm just
fuck yeah. One Piece. Hell yeah. I like that excitement, bro. We gotta talk about it. Like, how far are you in One Piece anyway?
Yikes.
Had a little 5-month break. You made some headway?
I'm about to start back up again, but no, I'm still back where I stopped. I think finished that. Yeah, I finished all of Dressrosa. And then Wano? I think it's Wano or Whole Cake.
Okay. I was about to damn, you at Wano? Damn.
No, Whole Cake. Yeah, I'm at Whole Cake.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start it back. I'm gonna start it back up. You know, I gotta take my little 6-month year break. You know what I'm saying?
How you gonna take a break during the break?
And then get back to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know shit. Yeah, it's fair. We were on a 5-month hiatus, and I didn't catch up at all. I mean, I got other shit to watch. There's so much like live action TV that I've been watching. Like, oh my god, there's some good stuff coming out. Like new seasons dropping to some of my shows. Like all kinds of shit. So, plus I have this like. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but I posted a picture of it. I have a note in my phone that has all the movies that I see like on clips, TikToks, Reels, any clips of them that look interesting. I find out what the movie's title is and I write it in my phone, and then I essentially give it like I write like a little title of it, and then cuz I have a lot of people that ask me for movie or show recommendations, cuz one, we do this show, and then two, people just know me that I know a lot about movies and TV shows. And so I'll write like Korean zombie movie or you know, or apocalyptic operator movie, you know, whatever. And then I'll write like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I'll give it like a rating. So I have a whole list of movies that I try to get through. And since I was sick, I was sick like the last couple weeks. I fucking was like, I was blowing through some of those movies just to kind of get some of them knocked out. But I found some gems. I found some fucking gems. Okay. Like there's some good ones. So, but I've been on my live action binge. There's not much. One of my favorite shows, just season 2 just came out a week ago. I finished it, so now I'm gonna hop back into I need to watch anime type shit. So, you know, I got other.
I'm with you.
Other things.
All that does is tell me that we got some banger reviews coming sometime soon. So you're gonna tell us all about them.
I can. Some of them ain't really. I mean, some of them ain't really pop culture. It's just
We'll find something.
Yeah, we'll break it down. We'll break it down. But first, everybody, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future episodes. Next week we will be doing our seasonal wrap up. Something I gotta fucking catch up on. We gotta do our seasonal wrap up. Look, I've been watching movies and sleeping. All right, leave me alone. That's all I've been doing: watching movies and sleeping.
I've been watching some stuff. I'll tell you about it in a minute, but I was catching up on some other stuff too. So I'm in the same boat as you.
But again, we're doing our seasonal wrap up next week, so be sure to look out for that. Let's hop into our news really quick, and then we'll hop into upcoming shows for this season for spring. Spring 2025, starting in April, because we definitely got some bangers coming out there for us. So, first up on our news is some Solo Leveling season 3 announcements. There is no fucking announcement.
Fuck you.
Fuck your announcement. A lot of fans are really upset about this, me included, because season 3 for Solo Leveling has not been announced. The final episode did just drop the past couple of days for season 2, and there's been no season 3 announcement. And from the anime producers and the director, these are some quotes that they said. They said there may or may not be a continuation. Another quote is, "It ended in a good place."
Okay.
Yeah. And for those of y'all who are Solo Leveling fans and know about the manga, know where the story's going, bullshit.
Yeah, this is not shit. Even. We're nowhere close to the crest. Like we just started on the trail. We drove to the trail.
We just hit level 100. Like now the story starts. The story starts now.
Literally.
Like, and those are some direct quotes from them, and people are fucking upset. And there's other articles that have come out that said we probably won't get solo leveling before 2027, which is just fucking insane. There might be something going on in the background. We know a lot of the times, especially some of the news we've seen before about anime studios buying other studios, combining studios, people being fired. Some of that stuff may be going on in the background. We don't know because there's no news about it. They're keeping it tight-lipped, a little hush-hush. But
I mean, outside of the comments, because the comments are wild. Let's just outside of that, anime fans, we've been spoiled. It's fair to say we've been spoiled because let's not 3-4 years ago we would get a season of something, and we never get a season 2. We're still waiting on season 2s for things that came out 6-7 years ago.
Harem in the Labyrinth.
Exactly. I'm waiting on that season 2. I had to start the manga last week or a week before.
I mean, not even that. Like you were saying, like a few years ago, we'd get a season 1, and then we'd have to wait 2 years for a season 2.
Have to wait 2,
and then
3, 4 years. Shit, look at Rising of the Shield Hero. They put the new season out every 4 or 5 years. So like most of the time, we have to wait. They've been lately. I will say in the past couple of years, they'll find like a show that's like super popular, and they'll quickly put another season out, going on that JJK wave. But that's not a normal thing.
And they fuck themselves and us because then we have to do this because those studios also produce other animes. And so they put all those other animes on the back burner for this super popular show. And now they're coming up on deadlines where they're like, oh shit, we have to put out this show. We have to put out this show. We have to put out this show. And so now they're like, hey, solo leveling might not happen until 2027. Sorry. Because we have other shows we've been putting on the back burner.
Only 2 years. So if it comes out in 2027, I'm really not going to be mad because that's normal. Like maybe like things coming out a season or 2 after the season ends, that's not normal. So if it's 2 years, hey, as long as you give us the same quality that we received season 1, season 2, I'm not mad at it. I'll check it out 27.
I want to see that fight. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that fight. I need it. I need season 3 tomorrow. I need season 3 to start tomorrow.
I know what you're looking forward to.
Give me all episodes tomorrow. All of them. Drop all 12 episodes tomorrow. No, but obviously some of those quotes were a little disconcerting or disheartening to some fans. It's gonna come back, guys. I mean, like let's not pretend like solo leveling isn't a fucking cash cow and that they're just never gonna come back with fucking. I mean, all the news I've ever pulled up when I do my news segments. A little behind the curtain, I obviously research news. I go and look for anime news. That's the point of this segment. All the news I've seen for the past week and a half have been nothing but solo leveling news. That's money. That's money. You think they're never gonna come out with a season 3?
They're gonna put out some merchandise. They might drop some OVAs in the meantime.
Probably be a movie. They're probably gonna do season 3 and 3 movies. Spread over a year.
Don't give them any ideas. Please don't do that. I don't need that in my life right now.
A little Demon Slayer Infinity Castle action.
Lord have mercy. Hey, they might. They really might. Like, I can see them coming back with like a, hey, we're going to do like a core 1, core 2 this time. But if they come back and say, hey, we got a movie for season 3.
We got a movie coming out for y'all.
3 parts.
Stay tuned. Every 2, there's gonna be 2 episodes in one movie, and we're gonna do a movie every 2 episodes. And it's gonna be a year.
And then the next movie is gonna just recap what happened at the end of the last movie, and then give you what's gonna happen.
It's gonna be 6 movies spread out for 6 years.
6 years.
It's 2 to 1 movie a year. Yeah, 6 years apart. Yeah, that's what it is. So we'll be 70 when we finally see the fight with Jinwoo.
Y'all still gonna watch it regardless of when it comes out.
He gets his lick back. All right. Some news. So I had written down this news, but this news is actually from Anime Japan Expo. So the news was from Anime Japan Expo, but this is all the news from that, which is encompassing the rest of my news pretty much.
Okay.
So One Piece is coming back. One Piece is officially coming back after a 5-month break. The episodes 1123 and 24 are going to be airing back to back. So you get to watch that episode and 24 back to back. Sakamoto Days Core 2, they released the visuals for that. I guess they're doing cores for Sakamoto now, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is.
It ended abruptly. I didn't even realize that it ended. like I was looking for it last night because this is usually around the time I
Mm,
watch Solo Leveling, Sakamoto.
yeah,
I watch all those things around the same time on the same day, and I was like, wait,
yeah.
we're not getting Sakamoto?
There's no cliffhanger. I guess they just
They just
cored it.
next
Hey,
core.
hey, next core.
Jesus Christ!
Uh, Kaiju number 8, season 2
Oh
has a new
dear.
trailer that dropped. My Hero Academia final season airs October 25th or
Mm-hmm.
October 2025. Excuse me. So October 2025. Don't know exact date for that yet. Tokyo Revengers Battle for the Three Deities visuals have come out, so I need to catch up in Tokyo Revengers. I am fucking far behind.
I have not even
Um,
started it yet, so I'm with you.
yeah, we're gonna talk about this in the upcoming anime when we get to that part. But this was Anime Expo news because of this specific thing. But the new Chinese anime called To Be Hero X is actually going to be combining 2D and 3D animation. So
What does that even mean?
yeah, I, better not be a failed your frames experiment
Like,
because
because I'm thinking of what was that damn show that came out, the Ninja Kamui?
mm-hmm,
Because that was 2D and 3D, right? Like, please don't do that.
kind of
That's not what they
yeah.
mean, right?
Yeah.
Please don't. I've seen some
But
trailers. It
yeah,
looked good from what I saw. To be fair.
yeah. Back on the One Piece pip, One Piece. There's a spinoff called One Piece is Love is coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about a young boy in high school who loves One Piece. But it's a little spinoff that's coming out. It says it's a gag spinoff, so but I mean it'll be something cute. If you love One Piece and you want to
Mm-hmm.
watch another boy who loves One Piece, then hey, that's your shit. Um, Coming out of the Anime Expo news. So rest in peace to Shigeki Awai, if I'm saying that incorrectly, my apologies. He was a key animator and director for a lot of anime. He died at 70 years old. He was the key animator and director for shows like Attack on Titan, Black Clover, Naruto, and a
Wow.
lot of other animation, a lot of other animation there. So rest in peace to him.
Rest in peace.
70 years old. Texas, this is a funny one. Texas, the Senate has just passed a bill that is now essentially you can be put on criminal charges if you own any anime, manga, or video games of minors in obscene ways.
Okay, I've had this argument with people. So I understand both sides,
Yes,
but because there should be nothing depicting minors in any explicit way.
abs-
I'm with you,
absolutely,
but this
absolutely.
is also a gateway because let's look at
Hmm.
regular anime that no one would just say, "Oh, Naruto." No one would just point at Naruto and be like, "No, this show is of minors and explicit situations." But if you look early Naruto,
If
yes,
you
it
saw
was
if you saw like Hinata or not Hinata, Tsunade drunk and her titties fall on Naruto, and he's like, because that happened.
because he's a
he was
minor,
like he was like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
or
And she
when he
was like
did.
all over him.
Hmm.
Like that's technically an obscene. If you want to be crass about it, that's putting a
And
minor in an obscene
again, it's a gateway.
fashion.
They're going to be
Hmm.
crass about it. They're going to pick and choose what
Yep.
is deemed explicit, minors in explicit situations, and what's not.
Yeah.
And if this leads to a lot of popular mangas, animes,
Hmm.
mangas, whatnot being barred, like don't be surprised. Like they're
Oh
not
yeah.
doing this. Like yes, they're doing this out of protection, but you got to understand there's also a reasoning behind
Yeah.
why they're doing things.
The
Somebody's
pro.
pockets are getting lined.
Yeah.
In other
The
words,
problem. The problem with passing bills like this is you can't. Nobody can give you a definition on what that means.
hmm
That's the problem with bills like this. Is if we go and ask that person who signed that bill, hey, all right, so what's the definition? And they're like, oh, minors in obscene ways. Okay, so what do you mean by that, though? Because let's be fair and honest here. There are some shows and some mangas that should not be circulated
hmm
because there's some crazy shit out there. Japan gets away with murder. But you can also, like we just said, somebody could look at a Naruto manga and see Tsunade's titties out while Naruto's sitting right there and be like, oh, she's flashing a minor, Naruto's banned.
yep.
And Naruto is one of the highest grossing, best like anime
And
like
it's not what it's
shonens
about
in the
at
world,
all.
and that's not what it's about at all.
Hunter x
So,
Hunter, same thing.
like you said, there needs to be a line, and the problem with passing bills like this is nobody can tell you what that line is. It's all about who's it's like up to your judgment.
I
It's
think
like
you
whose
didn't even
judgment?
mention though. They also said it's not even just minors in explicit situations or people who may not be a minor but they look like a minor.
Oh yeah, yeah, fair.
That's
Yeah,
that's heavy
that's
because
a lot. The
now
lolly culture is all over the place. I mean, you
and
got
I'm
Ari
not pro
Futera.
lolly culture. I'm not up here
No,
saying, "Oh,
yeah,
I'm a lolly.
yeah,
I'm pro anybody," because even
yep.
in the back of my mind, like
It's
that's
still
what you're
weird.
really interested in.
It's
That's
still weird.
giving me vibes. You feel me?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's again, it's just a gateway because there are going to be like Biscuit from Hunter x Hunter. She looks like a little girl. Are we going to say
Mhm.
every situation, any promiscuous situation that she gets into is
I
now
mean,
minors?
Ari Futera, the vampire girl. I mean, that's their relationship's kind of sus, but like at the end of the day, that's not what Ari Futera is about at all.
Mm.
So like, what are we talking about here? Like what?
It's just a gateway to things,
I
and
mean, oh yeah, oh yeah,
a DreamCon. I don't know how that's going to affect them. When I
oh
saw
yeah,
the post, I'm like, damn, DreamCon might be
yeah,
moved somewhere else because
yeah.
that's gonna kill a lot of business and
That's
merchandise.
killing business. Yeah, because all they do is like there's vendors who have like let's be honest, there's vendors who have shirts and t-shirts with anime girls with nut on their face doing the fucking we've seen all those fucking vendors with those
I
like
didn't see that.
yes you nigga
What?
stop. There's
What?
fucking there's vendors that have like the anime girl Ahiago face and
Oh
like all
yeah,
the
yeah,
like
yeah. I saw,
sexual
yeah.
sexual shit like
How
what
old is
if okay
she? Prove that she's of age.
yeah
Like she looks young enough, so they're going to say
yeah
cosplayers. Like cosplayers are going to definitely be targeted too. Like okay,
yeah
that cosplay looks too young. You look too young in that cosplay
yeah,
now. I'm
yeah.
25 years
So
old. You look like you're a minor.
yeah yeah so we'll they might move. We'll see. Move it to South Carolina, please.
Let's see how I go.
Um,
Move to South Carolina. Fuck yeah, move to South Carolina. I'm
yeah,
with that.
move it. Yeah, because we right here. We right fucking here. The last thing I got, which was very surprising to me,
Mm.
is that Naruto, excuse me, Naruto was the most watched anime on Netflix in 2024 at 330 million, One Piece at 316, and Demon Slayer at 208. But this is not including Shippuden. This is just Naruto.
Mm.
OG Naruto at 330 million watch views on Netflix. So
I mean, that's
Naruto
cool.
community, Naruto community,
That's fair.
love
I
y'all.
mean, it had the whole Naruto and in totality. Naruto, like the original OG, was
Hmm.
pretty good. You can watch the whole thing and feel
Hmm.
like you watched the full complete product.
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, all of One Piece isn't on Netflix, so why would anyone be
but
watching
it
it there?
also,
So
but let's be honest, like it also just started simulcasting, and then it also they
skip like
also
hella
did
arcs.
skip a bunch of arcs. Like I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm just saying like Naruto has been or Netflix has been the hub for Naruto for years. So
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm glad to see that. I like if you think logically here, that means a lot of people are being put on anime because Naruto is a gateway anime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a commitment, just like most big three and shonen animes. But when a lot of people ask like, what show should I watch? Most people say part of one, big three, when Naruto's one of them. So like
Mm-hmm.
that means that a lot of people went to go watch Naruto in 2024, whether it's their first time rewatching, and so like that's getting people into, the anime, the culture, things like that. Plus that's I think that's dope. It's not
Hey,
like Oshinoko was the number one watched. Fuck,
Naruto's been
that's
bringing
funny.
in newbies for a very long time. Like
Yeah.
it's been a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people's
It's
gateway
a
anime.
gateway anime,
It was
and I love
my
it.
gateway anime. It wasn't my first
Same.
anime, but it's definitely
Yeah.
one that made me say I like anime. So
Oh yeah.
hey,
Yeah. It was my first.
big
You know,
ups
it's funny.
Naruto.
Speaking of Oshinoko, I was watching so I watched another. There's a YouTube, the Anime IRL YouTube channel
Mm-hmm.
that I was telling you about a while ago, where they do games and like anime games and guess that weeb and all this other shit. Oshinoko came up, and one of the contestants, I'm not gonna say their name because they're another anime podcaster, but said something about Oshinoko, and he answered the question so fast, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, how do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?" And then my wife, we were watching it together. My wife likes anime RL because she thinks it's funny. She was like, "What's Oshinoko?" And I was like, "So, Oshinoko is about," and she just stared at me. She just stared at me, and I was just like, "I don't watch it. I promise. I don't." David told me.
David
I had
told
to
me,
show you.
don't say that.
What? She not your wife. You're not gonna get in trouble.
Oshinoko is our modern day Boku no Pico.
Yeah,
Like
like
in my mind, like I know there's people who actually enjoy the show, so fuck you. But in my mind, it's sick. So
yeah,
if
it's
when I
disgusting.
say, oh yeah, you watch Oshinoko, no, I'm saying that in a joking manner, as if I was
Yeah,
saying go watch Boku no Pico
yeah,
because it's a
go.
sick anime, and I want you
Yeah.
to know how sick anime can be.
If you look up Oshinoko on Google right now, there's one image that pulls up that is disgusting, and that's one of the ones that probably should be banned in Texas, to be honest.
With the
So
brother and sister, the little
no, it
incest
was the
situation.
no, it was the because it's the little boy and pretending to be a girl type shit, and they had him in some outfit doing some pose, and yeah,
All right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Oshinoko.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Never
yeah,
gonna be
totally.
on my screen. Sometimes I like
Nope.
to give shows a chance. Like shows out like at
Yeah,
first I look at them like I don't want to watch this, but then I just watch it
yeah.
again. Like for example, for the past week, a little over a week, I've been watching Ranking of Kings. You're the one who actually got me to watch that. It was just one of those shows where I was like, I don't like the art for this. It doesn't look like I'll be interested in. But then you told me like, no, it's actually pretty good. So I watched it and I just finished it like maybe 3 days ago, and I'm like, this
Hmm.
show's good, really good. Like they have a season two. It's not really a season two. It's just like a whole bunch of short
Yeah,
stories. But season
it's
one was pretty good. I'm really excited if they are going to come out with a season three. I guess sometime soon. Definitely checking that out.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's one. I told you a while ago when we were talking about it. Like, the dude is like OP, but not OP, and he has
Mm-hmm.
to find that way to like use his like his pointing powers to like his like poking powers. Like, it's funny. It's like comical in its own serious way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still like the dude's still super dope, and like he can, take a hit, and like it's one of the good shows. I don't think I ever finished season two, or yeah, court was it season two?
Season
Yeah,
two.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
it's
think I
like
ever
it's
watched
like
season
10
two.
episodes. And it's like just short stories, and I started and I was like it's cool because it like goes back to season one and like not retell stories, but like give you a deeper perspective in what was going on in between. But
Yeah.
season one was really good. Like finding out like the fact that he is a giant, like not just a half giant but full giant, but reason
Hmm.
why he has that small stature. Like it was a really good story with some decent animation, but the animation worked really well for the story that they were telling. So definitely something to check out if you haven't checked out Ranking of Kings.
All right, so let's hop into what's coming out in spring 2025. This is
All
going to
right.
be interesting. We do have quite a few up here. Obviously, for those of y'all know, I obviously pull up the live chart here. It's usually what we do. Kind of go over the synopsis, but as we know, these synopses can lead us astray. so, so,
Absolutely no
so
details.
don't fucking not even no details. It'll give us full details, and the show won't even be anything about that. So, and honestly, I don't even. Websites like these do take synopsises from the actual creators, not like from their lips, but from the actual like show notes. So like, I don't blame them for these synopses. I blame the people who wrote the fucking synopsis and handed it out to people
Mm.
because shit be insane. There's two shows I want to bring up before we actually click into the ones that are here because these shows were not on live chart, but these are not necessarily honorable mentions, but new shows that are coming out soon. The first one is going to be Super Cube. Super Cube is about a young man. It's a Chinese dongua, and essentially it's about a young man who gets himself involved in the criminal underworld. I'm assuming the triads, because that's usually it's yakuza for Japan and it's the triads for China. He gets himself in trouble with the triads, and he ends up finding this cube that ends up giving him superpowers. It gives him powers, able to fight, things like that. We've heard that story done a million times. Dave is obviously going to put the visuals up. It looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I'm looking forward to seeing. Plus, we don't like we said before. There's a lot of good donguas out there. There's a lot of good like Chinese and other animations coming out, or other anime that are really good. Immortal King was one of them. Um, that we should get more of. We should definitely get more of. So hopefully this one will turn a good head for us. The next one is something I'm so hype about, and I cannot wait until it comes out next week, April 3rd. Not even next, I mean, it's next week, but a few more days. And that's Devil May Cry. And it's coming out on Netflix, and I fucking can't wait. Devil May Cry is also in the hands of the creator of Castlevania. Oh, which means it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Devil May Cry, for those of y'all who don't know, which fucking you're under a rock and you should watch another channel that eases you into pop culture. Devil May Cry is a video game about a man named Dante who is a demon hunter. He's a demon hunter. He's like, I mean, this before Gojo was invented. This was girls' husbando. Before when gamer culture was big and anime was low, girls were fiending over Dante. Dante was one of the biggest hits in the video game world. He uses swords, two guns. Like he dual wields pistols. Man loves pizza. Um, and he's this good looking asshole type who out there fighting demons. It's coming out on Netflix. Um, and it's like I said, going to be in the hands of the Castlevania director, and that means the fighting's going to be lit, the blood's going to be lit. I mean, everything. It's going to be a great show. Plus, Capcom is going to be involved in it, which means they're not going to go off script. So that's also a fantastic thing that they're doing. It's unfortunate we talked about Castlevania. What was it? Castlevania, the second show, the spin-off show that came out on Castlevania, Nocturne, because Castlevania, the first 5 seasons were pretty much directly related to the game and to the comic or whatever, but Nocturne was the same characters but a spin-off and a different storyline, and not a lot of people liked it because of that. So thankfully, the actual video game producers of this game are going to be involved in the making of this show. I mean, sure, it's already made. It's coming out in 3 days, but like at the end of the day, we're fucking set there. So those are the two that weren't on our list. So
okay,
hopping into the first one. For the first not coming back, we're gonna do like we usually do. We'll do all of our new ones coming up first, and then we'll go and hop into our returners. So stick around for that part 2 coming out. So the first one is reincarnated as a neglected noble, raising my baby brother with memories from my past life.
Long title. Love to hear
it. All right, so hopping in the synopsis here, the empire's fallen to ruin. The Kyo Empire, living in that empire, is an overweight. So it is. Okay, so I saw this picture, right? Yeah. And I was like, is she fat?
Is that the first thing you looked at?
Well, no, when I was looking, I was like, what is she fat, or is that just like drawn badly? Mm-hmm. And now she's overweight.
Okay.
Oh, it's a he, actually. Sorry. It's a he. So living in the empire, an overweight 5-year-old abandoned by his parents, Prince Agiha. Agiha has memories from his previous life of him living in Japan in another world. He then encounters a young half-brother, Regulius. Agiha had a vision that Regulius will kill him in the future over inheritance. So Agiha sets out to raise him after Regulius's mother passed. Once the sparkling and fluffy-haired Regulius cozied up to Agiha, he turned into the doting older brother before he even realized. Enjoy the fantasy story of younger brothers managing their kingdom, sometimes involving the gods, and they reform it step by step and bring a better land to the next generation. That's something you put on the list. I'm not watching that.
So we watched the trailer for it. We watched it together, and it looked like it was going to be good. See, hopefully this is one of those times where the synopsis doesn't really give us what we're looking for, because that little small, like, can you scroll down a little bit? That little small note about sometimes involving gods, maybe that's going to be like the interest of the story, because right now it's just like, he saw a vision of his little brother killing him, so he's like, okay, I need to treat him a certain way. And we've seen this in other anime, other shows before, and it can work out really good. So hopefully it's just being very vague. But once we start to watch it by episode 3, 4,
you let me know mid-season. You let me know mid-season review.
I still got hopes for this one. It sounds pretty interesting.
When you drop this, you let me know. All right. Another one from your list: a ninja and an assassin under one roof. On the way home from school one day, Konoha Kogo rescues Sakato Kusagari, a ninja who escaped her village. Soon, pursuers from the village show up to search for Satoko, only to be deftly dealt with by Konoha. As it Konoha Village? Village in the Leaves? As it turns out, the unassuming high schooler is actually an assassin. Thus, the potentially cutthroat combination of a ninja and an assassin begins. Isn't that the same thing? Ninjas were assassins. That's like,
Hey, look here.
yeah.
Sounds interesting. I looked at the art style for it. It looks cutesy. I
Mm,
like the cutesy stuff, and I think this one
mm.
will be pretty interesting. I'm not. Look here. I'm not freaking floating in the water here. This one actually seems like it's an interesting premise. It sounds like there's going to be some
I
good
mean,
action in it. We
for
got a
for
ninja and
people,
assassin
yeah.
almost some cohabitation.
I mean, for people who like cutesy shit and like cool little, head button stuff, then sure. I mean, I can give you that one. So,
I don't think it's just
uh,
going to be headbutting. I think that people are going to be dying in this show.
people will die. Once upon a witch's death. So this one is Meg Raspberry. Raspberry is just an apprentice witch celebrating her 17th birthday. That is until Faust, her magic teacher and perennial witch of the seven sages, suddenly reveals she is going to die. To stop the death sentence curse, Meg must create the seed of life using tears of joy from 1,000 people. Join Meg on her travels as she collects happy tears from everyone she meets and gain eternal life. Imagine she's just like, look at my titties, and then they like cry, and she like gets a jar under their eye. Give me that.
This one's added by you, right? I don't.
No,
This
no, it
was
was not.
this wasn't added by me.
No,
This is
yes, it
not
was.
added by me. I
Yes, it
added the
was.
one which one with the
No, 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 no,
familiar.
no, no,
This
no,
is
no, no,
not
no.
me.
No, this was you. This was you.
I'm sure this is gonna be a really
It
beautiful
doesn't.
story of her collecting the tears of
This is
people.
where no, where are we at? Mobile suit is where it starts at me. Oh no, yonder because of
See, Witch
reasons.
Watch. I added the Witch Watch. That was me.
This yonder is where I stopped. Everything
Fine,
until
fine,
yonder.
fine.
Yeah, okay. Um, the unwear. All right, so the next one we got is the unwear atelier meister.
Mm.
So this one is Kurt Rockhands, is a kind-hearted errand boy from a hero's party, the Flaming Dragon Fang. One day he's banished from the party and finds out he has the lowest rank in combat. In order to make a living, Kurt picks up various jobs and discovers he has astonishing abilities. Fucking shocker there. Though he doesn't realize it yet, Curse has the SSS rank
SSS.
skill in anything other than fighting, and he sets out on his new journey. Oh god.
Okay, look
Okay.
here. I like these type of stories.
I
This
mean,
is going to
yeah,
be a
but
pretty
like
interesting
trope,
story. Like I'm sure
trope.
it's not going to be a S rank. It possibly could,
So
but
here's the thing.
A rank is
I,
the best I'm
if
hoping for.
he doesn't find loopholes in fighting, I'm gonna be upset because if it's fighting is very it's such an umbrella term,
Mm.
right? So if he has triple S rank skills in anything but fighting, can he use magic at triple S? Because if you can use magic, you can use magic to fight.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so can he use like a mega fireball to cook rice, but then can't use it when he fights? That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It'd be
Mm.
one thing if it said like he has triple rank S abilities other than like sword combat or hand to hand combat or close combat or something like that, but just say fighting in general is kind of insane because like that. I don't know. To me, like, yeah, he can't be a triple S rank swordsman or a triple S rank martial artist or whatever, but can he use fire magic and be triple S rank? Because then he can just shoot the most massive fireball you've ever seen at somebody,
Mhm.
and then that's fighting though. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
So
see what you mean. I feel like maybe he's going to be one of those
healing.
like healing. Maybe healing. I doubt it's going to be healing. I think it's going to be one of those characters where the hero party didn't realize that they were only successful due to the things that he provided,
Mm-hmm.
like cooking. He's like a
Oh God, I hope not.
SSS level. You know, I
I
love my
fucking
cooking
hope.
animes.
God, I hope
And
not.
cooking, and he provided in the food that he cooked provided more energy, provided skills or
Yeah,
boosts to their abilities and such. Whenever he cooked for them, like he has abilities to like pocket dimension. Like nobody else has pocket dimension, but
yeah.
he has like such a
Talking
high
about like where
level.
he can
Like I
pull
can see
stuff out of
those
his
type of
bag.
things. Like, and if it is like I'm cool with that. I like to see when the main character is able to deal with those issues, not just for fighting. I like for it to be a fighting anime, but the main character
Hmm.
doesn't just he's just so overpowered he's able to defeat the enemy.
Yeah,
He's able to use other knowledge.
I will say that's one of the reasons why one of the animes that we're going to be wrapping up has started to become less of a favorite than it was when it first started. I don't know if you know what I'm talking
I don't
about.
think I know what you're talking about. You
Receptionist.
really?
Yeah, it got too easy at the end. Just me personally. We're gonna talk about it
I
next
feel you
week.
on that one
We're
actually.
gonna talk about it next week. But all right, next one we got Witch Watch.
Mm-hmm.
So Morihito Otogi, a high school student who comes from the lineage of ogres, enjoys a peaceful, ordinary life until his childhood friend Nico moves in with him. Nico is a witch in training and chooses Marihito to be her familiar. Just to sum this up, because this doesn't say that in here, he is a regular human being. So usually witches, because we watched the trailers for these just to obviously double check them. Usually witches choose beast people or like animal type people to be their familiars, but instead she chose a human instead to be her familiar to protect her. So while Nico is thrilled to reunite with her old friend and crush, Marihito is tasked with the perilous duty to protect her from the foretold calamity. Between the unprecedented chaos caused by Nico's magic and the awkwardness of sharing a home, their lives become a whirlwind of supernatural hijinks and threats. Um,
I'm with
so
it.
I will say he seems like a Mashley gag character to me.
Mm-hmm.
From the this image art and then from the trailer we watched, he seems like he's a human, but he's like supernaturally powered when it comes to like fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like
I can see that.
he's super strong. He can run really fast. He
Maybe it's
like
because
appears
they
behind you.
formed a contract, that familiar
Maybe,
contract, and that gives them that
maybe,
boost.
maybe. Um,
All right.
next one we got
What everybody's here for.
two.
Yandere.
Yeah. Yandere Dark Elf. She chased me all the way from another world. Hinata did it.
Yes, she
He
did.
it said he. It's a
Huh?
he.
Oh,
It's
I
a
thought
he.
we were talking about Hinata from
It's
Naruto.
it's a he, bro.
Because she had
All
the
right,
gentle fist, the gentle
just
palms.
I
Go
I
ahead,
don't
just
want.
read the synopsis.
All right, yeah, thank you. He got reincarnated into another world, took up the mantle of hero, and slew the dreaded demon lord alongside his party of fellow adventurers. As his reward, he's returned to Earth to resume a normal life, or it would be if it wasn't for the fact that his dark elf companion Maribel decided to travel to Earth to come and live with him. Now she uses her arcane talents to ward off any potential romantic rivals and capture Hinata's affection.
See, this is what I want at the end of the isekais that we watch. After he saves the world, he brings back that baddie elf that he formed the party
They
with at the
deserve
beginning
it.
of it,
They deserve
and
it.
they go back home to the real world, and she still keeps her powers, and we get shit like this. Like
They deserve it.
I'm gonna really enjoy this one. I hope this one's at you.
It seems like a slice of
I
life,
hope it's
but
at you.
hey,
So
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. All right, on to my picks
you
because these
chose a
are
yandere
starting.
too. You
I
better
did.
chill.
Chill out. All right. So this is Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quux. Remember
G-Quacks.
G-Quux. So this one is Amate Yuzuriru is a high school student living peacefully in a space colony floating in outer space. When she meets a war refuge named Neon, our, our mate is drawn into the illegal mobile suit dueling sport known as clan battle. Oh, I like that. An illegal underground mobile suit fighting thing? That's dope. Under the entry of Machu, she throws herself into the fierce battle day after day, piloting G-Quux. Then an unidentified Gundam mobile suit, pursued by both the Space Force and the police, appears before her along with its pilot, a boy named Shuji. Now their world is about to enter a new era. I'm not sure. I did a Gundam talk a while ago about where things lined up, like the different universes. I'm not exactly sure where this lines up, but when it says war refugee, I'm assuming that's the war that happened between the Earth Federation and oh, now I'm gonna be really upset that I forgot.
Begin with a Z.
Um,
But
the Earth
I
Federation.
feel like this one is like a post story. So this is after, well, obviously after the war, but like after everything we've watched, this is now in a world where Gundams are outlawed. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah,
doing like, just like, they're having fun with Gundams at this point. They're not fighting in a war. They're not just fighting to survive. They're literally just underground dogfighting. You feel me? So I feel like this is
yeah.
after everything, and we're more of not peaceful, but
Xeon, Principal, dude, Jesus.
yeah,
All
Z.
right,
I knew it began with a Z.
Xeon.
It's like a
I don't know.
post-apocalyptic world where shit like this happens
Um,
everywhere. I feel like that's where
yeah,
the
I would
setting
think. I
is.
mean, it says war refugee, which means the war is still continuing, though. So this might be between. This might be during the 1 year war with Xeon and the Federation of Earth.
Mm,
Because if you remember, well, you probably don't remember, but
not at all.
there's a lot of talks in during the 1 year war that Gundams were being stolen, mobile suits were being manufactured at the cyclic rate, people were putting them on the black market. Like these things happened during the 1 year war. So this
Oh
is
yeah.
probably where the underground Gundam fighting shit happened. So because she's a war refugee,
Mm.
plus the Gundam pilot, because remember the Earth Federation are the ones that invented Gundams. So this Gundam is being chased by the Space Force for some reason, and then she meets that pilot and everything like that. So I mean, we'll see. But I think she's probably the war refugee. Neon is probably from the Principality of Xeon,
Mm.
and old girl is probably from the Earth Federation. She's just in a space colony. So
I'm
I
definitely gonna
mean,
check it out. It's a mobile. I've been liking these new Mobile Suit Gundam shows, so
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna fuck with it.
yeah, absolutely. To be Hero X, which is the one we talked about earlier, being the Chinese one, that's going to be 2D and 3D. So it says a world where outstanding heroes are applauded. Here, trust creates superheroes. If people believe he can fly, he will gain. That's actually a cool concept.
Hmm.
If people believe he can fly, then he gains the ability to fly. Imagine you're just flying around and then people just like start hating you.
I don't think that nigga can
Like
fly.
this nigga looks suspicious, and he's just like, ah,
You see those strings?
yeah, yeah. Conversely, even if a hero has special powers, if he loses trust, he will also lose his powers.
Mm.
Trust is collected as data, and the ranking of heroes changes depending on its value. Once every 2 years, the top heroes gather to compete in hero tournaments. Their performance there updates their trust value, and the ranking is reconstructed. The absolute hero who stands at the top of the rankings, people call him X. That's actually a dope
Ranking of
concept.
heroes. I like
And
that.
I'm upset. I'm upset because I'm scared about this whole 2D, 3D thing because this concept could be put in such a great animation style and it would be
Mm.
so dope.
I can see
But
that.
the fact that I've seen some of its like trailers and some of its art, I don't know because that's a
I don't
dope
think it's gonna be
concept.
sloppy. I don't as long as it's not blocky. Like I can see it being
Yeah,
done really well. But I from this listening synopsis, it
yeah,
gives me the impression because again, like I was just talking about with Ranking of Kings, at the end of the season of Ranking of Kings, it gave you the impression that everything we just watched was just personal shit. We're now
yeah.
about to get into the actual ranking of kings because we saw how, like the king of the underworld who became the number one. So I feel
Mm.
like this is going to be kind of along the same premises where there's a ranking of the heroes, and at the end, like being the number one hero means you have like the ultimate power in the world.
Mm.
So I'm interested to see how
And
it
they
plays
just
out.
give him all might powers because they just know he's the strongest. That's insane. That's fucking crazy. Next one we got is Etchy Demon Slayer. I mean, sorry,
And she
Sword
demon slayer.
Sword of the Demon Hunter. In the Edo period, there was a shrine maiden called Itsushigime in the mountain village of Kadano. Jinta, a wandering orphan who, along with his younger sister, yep, Demon Slayer, Suzune, drifted into the village and grew up to become the shrine maiden's guardian. Ventures into the forest to defeat a mysterious demon who speaks to him of the far future and a threat of a demon god. So begins the epic supernatural historical fantasy series that follows a demon hunter through his century-spanning journey from the Edo to Heisei periods, all the while questioning the wield of a sword. Wait,
Mm.
so oh, so the demon hunter is like immortal.
Mm.
That's cool because
Okay.
it's traveling because that's a century. The Edo period between the Edo period and the Heisei period was a little under 100 years, which means he's travel. It says follow the demon hunter through the century-spanning journey, which means he because he's the Shrine Maiden's guardian. He is now just immortal, I guess, and
If
just
they
fights
give
demons.
us some demon slayer like story with some like
His
what samurai
his sister.
Champloo or Afro samurai fighting, I'm gonna love this.
I am too, but he's a demon slayer. He's a demon hunter, and his sister it become has a half demon eye. It's demon slayer.
Yeah, she become what do they call it, a yokai?
Yokai. Yeah, she
Yeah,
becomes
it's
a
a
half demon.
demon slayer. But
Yeah,
if it has Demon Slayer story, but again with that animation, with
yeah,
that
oh yeah,
choreography,
yeah,
I think that because
banger.
like I'm still in the boat that Demon Slayer animation carries,
Oh
but
yeah,
with
I'm
that
there with you.
animation and choreography,
Mhm.
I think this will
Yeah,
be a killer. Is this like
yeah.
a sign-in? Do they give like if it's a sign-in or shonen?
Mm, not really.
Samurai, supernatural, historical. I can see it being a sign-in. I'm definitely gonna check this one
Yeah,
out.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, the next one we got is Cowboy Bebop spinoff,
Fuck
Lazarus.
yeah, this
Pause.
one's definitely gonna sign in.
I'm fucking all about this shit. So, for those of y'all who don't know, I spoke about this a couple months ago. The creator of Cowboy Bebop came out and said that Space Dandy, Cowboy Bebop, and Lazarus are all in the same universe,
Hmm.
which means you watch Space Dandy, and then when we watch Lazarus, it's pretty much in the same. Now, I wouldn't, maybe not necessarily in the same time period, but it's in the same world as Cowboy Bebop and Space Dandy as well. So this could be. I don't. Did they say what year Cowboy Bebop was in? Because this one says in year 2052. So. Um, I'm gonna look this shit up real quick. Okay, so the Cowboy Bebop year was 2071. So this is 20 years prior to Cowboy Bebop.
2071.
So yeah, 2071. So this is about 20 years prior to the events of what we've seen in Cowboy Bebop. So the year of 2052, an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity prevails across the globe. The reason for this, mankind has been freed from a sickness and pain. Nobel Prize winning neuroscientist Dr. Skinner has developed a miracle cure all drug with no apparent drawbacks called Hapuna. Hapuna soon becomes ubiquitous and essential. However, soon after Hapuna is officially introduced, Dr. Skinner vanished. 3 years later, the world has moved on, but Dr. Skinner has returned, this time as a harbinger of doom. Skinner announces that Hapuna has a short half-life. Everyone who has taken it will die approximately 3 years later. Death is coming for the sinful world and coming soon. As a response to the threat, a special task force of 5 agents is gathered from across the world to save humanity from Skinner's plan. This group is called Lazarus. Can they find Skinner and develop a vaccine before time runs out?
Mm.
That sounds super dope. That
Sounds
sounds.
like a good story.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for me, what's kind of carrying it is knowing that it's in the same world.
Same world. Yeah.
As yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
and that being that it's in the same world, coming from the same mind, I can imagine how it's going to look and how it's going to feel. And
I mean,
if it matches how I feel or what I believe, I think it's going to be a banger.
spoiler alert, they win.
I mean,
I mean, Cowboy
clearly,
Bebop 20 years in the future.
clearly, and that's something else I wanted to mention. I like the fact that it's like a prelude to Cowboy Bebop. So
Yeah.
if the author keeps that in mind and kind of shows that in his world that this is
Yeah.
going to be the
Like,
same world as
show some
Bebop.
little show some little hints that things are being developed that we
Hmm.
saw on the Bebop. The whole space cowboy thing is kind of becoming a thing. Like, yeah, that would be super dope. That'd be absolutely outstanding. This next one is from old country bumpkin to master swordsman. Um, Barrel, Burl, Burl, a self-proclaimed humbled old man, is a sword instructor at his dojo in rural backwater village. In his younger years, he dreamed of glory as a master swordsman, but those days are long behind him. Out of the blue, he receives a visit from a famous former pupil who brings him a world-shattering news. He's been appointed as a special instructor for the Knights of the Liberian Order. With his life now turned upside down, Burrow travels to the capital and reunites with some of his former students, elite knights, and an ace wizard, and even an adventurer who's attained the highest guild rank possible. But why do they all want his tutelage? As far as he's concerned, they clearly don't need him anymore. Can Burrow live up to his new position, and will he ever get a moment's peace away from his adoring students? Let this grieving soul retire. This is our boy. This is our boy. 20 years later, from Let This Grieving Soul Retire. this is this is our boy.
I like this premise. I don't know if it's like become this new theme where they're getting
Yeah,
middle aged men and making them
yeah.
live their dreams of becoming like the main character.
I yeah. I hope that there's some actual fighting in this. From the trailer we watched and from some of the visuals, it looked like all he's going to be doing is just like doing stadium fighting, like fighting students, showing his swordsmanship.
Mm,
But like, I hope there's an actual like, oh hey, the people that you just trained, you have to take them to go kill the demon lord or go
yeah.
kill something. I hope that kind of comes into play a little bit because if you go from bumpkin to master swordsman and then all you do is still just train people, that's kind of boring to me.
Yeah, I
Like
expect to
it's
see
kind of
some definitely some fighting, even if it's not from him specifically, the
yeah.
world around him, because he's
I
obviously
hope so.
has to be a master swordsman and he's teaching somebody for a reason. So
Yeah,
I could see that maybe even if it's not him, he's teaching the heroes who are going to be the ones fighting the demon lord.
something. I mean, I hope so, but we'll see. All right, the brilliant healer's new life in the shadows. Banished as useless, Xenos, a self-taught healer from the slums, turns despair into defiance and opens a secret clinic in the city's shadows. With unlicensed, unmatched magic, he cures, comforts, and rights wrongs, quietly becoming a legend. But as his power grows, even the royal palace takes notice. Can he back the odds and heal a world that casts him aside?
Mm,
That I'm not usually a fan of these, but this one kind of sounds interesting.
yeah.
So like I'm not usually a fan of like, oh, I was banished from the heroes party, now I'm going to go start a home for wayward kittens. Like they do that all the time, right? Where the dude goes and buys a house, he starts up an apothecary and he just kind of like people call him to go do tasks here and there, but this one
Mm,
sounds decent. Like he's going to be an underworld medic essentially. Like he's going to be a medic for probably criminals from heroes to everybody who can find him. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
And it
This.
specifically says his power is going to grow to the point where
Mhm.
the royal palace is going to take notice of him. So I'm
Yeah,
interested to see
absolutely.
where it's going to go. I like all the healer shows. I love all the hero got banished from
Yeah,
all of the guy got banished from the heroes part. I love all of
yeah.
those. So, but this one definitely there's something about it that's a little bit
So
more
yeah.
interesting because he's like
Hmm.
a backstreet apothecary in some way.
Maybe I'm doing a like link this, the whole link everything by 6 degrees type thing.
Mm,
You know that whole saying where it's like I can link Michael Jordan to anime in 6 different ways or in 6 degrees. So like I say 6 things that get to anime. You can link 2 things, with 6 things in between. That's what links them. And so either way, I may be doing that, but the reason why this probably like makes me have little tingly feelings about it is because I'm a really big. One of my favorite movies is I can't believe I just mind blanked on it. Artemis, Hotel Artemis. Have you seen the movie Hotel
I
Artemis?
haven't watched it now.
So the movie Hotel Artemis is about a clinic. So it's a not necessarily post-apocalyptic, but think like 2035, 2045, where like the world is kind of nuanced technology, but like it's still kind of like pre-cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic, but not. People are still functioning members of society, but it's still kind of still post-apocalyptic. And the Hotel Artemis is a underground clinic where there's a doctor and a nurse who take care of people who pay, like they take care of criminals, politicians, anybody who needs medical services. They take care of them. You have to have a membership. You pay like a yearly membership to in order to get in there, and then it's kind of like the Continental in John Wick, where no killing is allowed, no fighting is allowed, things like that. But instead of it just being a hotel, it's a medical clinic, so you can
Mm,
come get treated for whatever gunshot wounds to stabbings to whatever it is, and they have like high tech technology. Batista is the nurse. Batista is the nurse, and Jodie Foster is the doctor. She's the
yeah.
one that he calls her nurse, and then but she's the doctor. But he calls her nurse, and then he's the muscle that gets everybody out. But he also has like scrubs on, but it's a great movie, and I love the whole underground medical clinic kind of deal. So maybe that's kind of why this is kind of piquing my interest here. You should watch it though. Hotel Artemis is a great movie.
Okay.
So I think it's
I
on
like
Amazon.
Batista. I like some of the stuff he's in. Sometimes
I
it gets
like
repetitive.
I like older Batista. The new Batista is kind of. I mean, he's getting old, so he can't really play the big brolicky dude anymore. But
Mm.
the older Batista movies are pretty good. But anyways, I'll send it to you later so you can watch it. All right. So last two we got. So I'm an evil lord of an intergalactic empire. You had me at intergalactic empire. So that's all I'm gonna say. After a life of honesty left him betrayed, Liam is reborn. So there's more to this. Essentially, Liam is was in Japan. He was a businessman or a salary man. He had a wife and a kid. The wife ends up poisoning him and killing him, and that's how he ends up getting isekai. So just to preface that, now he's isekai. Liam is born into a vast interstellar empire with one goal: be the galaxy's worst evil lord. He's the son of somebody who is the galactic emperor, excuse me. But no matter how hard he tries to be a tyrant, his wicked plans keep backfiring into peace, prosperity, and adoring fans. Galactic chaos, magic, and mecha await in this hilariously misconstructed tale of a villain who can't help but to impress. And so essentially to kind of give some more information on this, he constantly tries to enact wicked plans and things that are evil, but that's actually what they want him to do. Like this shit keeps working out for him because he thinks he's being rude or mean, or he thinks he's being overbearing as a leader. He thinks he's micromanaging people, but like that's what's needed to keep the empire running. So he actually is falling into success, like failing into success. So he doesn't want to be nice anymore. So he's like, I'm gonna be an evil ruler, but that's what they fucking want, and he doesn't realize that. So like he's ended up falling into success. So I saw mecha battles and I saw space and intergalactic empire, and you sold me on that. So
I think it's interesting. Like we've seen before, like the heroes who have the charisma, and no matter what they do, it just works out for them. For this one, he's purposely trying to be evil.
yeah,
I don't think I can remember anything like that. So I think it's interesting. I'm curious to
and
see how it's going to go.
let this grieving soul retire was kind of like this, where in the fact he wasn't strong, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, but everything he does just works out.
Yeah,
Like
but just on the difference was he wasn't trying to be a bad guy. He
yeah,
just didn't
yeah,
want to be with any of what's going on.
yeah. So it works out. All right, so the last one we got, something that has been very highly anticipated for the new shows coming up, is The Beginning After the End. After mysterious death, King Gray is reborn as Arthur Lewin on a magical continent of Decathan. Although he enters his second life as a baby, his previous wisdom remains. He begins to master magic and forge his own path as the years go by, seeking to correct his mistakes of his past life. And so, King Gray, more context, he was a famous king in his old world, super strong, powerful. He ends up dying, and he gets isekai into another magical world where he can again start to become super strong. And obviously, we see him as like kind of a preteen, a tween here. So that's this one. I mean, you got to watch the trailer. The trailer makes it look super, super dope. So
It does look
I
really,
think,
really good. I think the
yeah.
biggest interest behind this one is, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but this one is
Oh,
an actual American, a U.S. publication.
I thought it was UK.
U.S.
I thought it
Yeah, he
was. I
actually
thought it was.
wrote in the U.S. Guy Turtle Me, but like
Okay.
he's
Uh,
Asian.
so, well, so no, like the British guy, like a British person said this was an English made manga. And so when British people say English, they mean UK. So I was assuming
Oh,
UK.
that's what you meant by the
So
English.
when
Yeah.
they say US, like when British people, I have a friend that's British that lives here. When they say anything made but the US, they say US. If anything is British, they say English.
Okay. Yes, I.
So that's why I was confused. That's why I thought like, oh, this was made in the UK, not in the US. So if it's US, that's still even better. I mean,
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing is it's not the usual Asian
yeah,
publication.
yeah,
It's something coming
yeah.
from the Western. So the fact that it's being big up by everyone,
Hmm.
not it's not Japanese, not Korean, it's not Chinese, and yet it's still one of the most looked after anime that's about to be coming
Yeah.
out. Definitely looking
I mean,
forward to it as well.
it's getting a little looksy. So absolutely. Do you want to do separate for part two? Or you want me to roll into
Yeah, we can
returning?
separate part two.
Okay. All right. I'll wrap it up there. All right. Oh shit. All right. Roll into the ending. All right. All right, everybody. That wraps it up right now for our part one of our coming to animes of spring 2025. These are the new ones that are coming out. A lot of these look super dope. I cannot wait. There's so much to watch. I mean, I've been on this live action binge lately. So with these shows coming out next season, I definitely need to stay on top of these motherfuckers because there's a lot of them. We are going to be coming out with a part two. Stick around for that one. Part two is going to be just our returners. There's only a couple of them. It's not going to be terribly long, but We're gonna do some of our returners that are coming back for different second seasons, third seasons, things like that. So stick around for that one. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Again, we love you. We'll see you in part 2, and then we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.